Have you ever felt lost, untethered, searching for something more? Welcome to Angelic Footprints, where the spirit meets the road on a journey to self-healing and rediscovery. I'm Dagmar, your host, psychic medium and seasoned traveler. Each week, we'll explore the world of angels and personal transformation. We're going to dive into compelling histories and captivating mythology. You're going to hear remarkable, real-life angel encounters and discover how you too can connect with the angels guiding your path. Whether it's through practical tips, meditation techniques, or stories that resonate deeply, Angelic Footprints is here to light your way. From mystical journeys to profound self-discovery, let's embark on this transformative journey together. Are you ready to find your angelic guide? Then subscribe to Angelic Footprints today and step into a world where angels walk beside you every step of the way. Angels, spirituality, healing. Let's ignite your transformation. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Angelic Footprints podcast. Today I would like to talk about heaven, a notion that we are introduced to as children. If you are a good little boy or girl, you go to heaven. And when someone dies, like a family member, we often say that they have gone to heaven. But what is heaven? I'd like to take you through a bit of background around heaven and what might it mean and how it relates to angels. My research on this topic comes from quite a few websites, but I'll also provide specific website information where it is relevant. Let's start with the term seventh heaven. Now, according to Idioms, the free dictionary, the term seventh heaven is to be in a state of bliss. Both the Muslims and the ancient Jews recognized 7 heavens corresponding to the 7 planets, the highest of which was the abode of God and the top-ranking angels. By the 19th century, the term had been extended to mean a blissful state without any religious or otherworldly connotation. Moving along, I found some definitions of 7 heavens under Wikipedia, specifically by one Julien Deschaneux in the book Creation and Contemplation, The Cosmology of the Quran and Its Late Antique Background, which states that the notion or belief in a cosmos structured or tiered into 7 heavens likely originates or derives from the 7 visible heavenly bodies. They are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the Moon, and the Sun. Over the ages, there have also been lots of creative artists that have used the term seventh heaven in their songs. Now, these artists are across various genres and interpretations of the phrase seventh heaven. Seventh Heaven by Angelina Jordan, Seventh Heaven by The Raven Age, Seventh Heaven by SRTW and Nuri featuring June Boy, Seventh Heaven by Gwen Guthrie, and another song, Seventh Heaven by Lark on Chiel. Hello Music Theory is another website that gives us songs about angels. Angel by Sarah McLachlan, Angels by Robbie Williams, Earth Angel by the Penguins, Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton, Calling All Angels by Train, Touched by an Angel by Stevie Nicks, Angel Eyes by the Jeff Healey Band, Angels Among Us by Alabama, Send Me an Angel by Real Life, and let us not forget one that wasn't on that list, Angel Eyes by ABBA. and I'm sure there's quite a few that you might resonate with or have even listened to. Let's now talk about the different levels of heaven and see how they are connected with the belief systems of different religions. According to the website biblicalchristianity.com, there are 3 levels of heaven. And in Scripture, the term heaven is not just symbolic, it refers to 3 distinct realms, each with a different purpose and meaning. Now, according to this website, the 3 levels of heaven are the first heaven, otherwise known as Earth's immediate atmosphere, the second heaven, which is outer space, including the sun, moon, and the stars, and the third heaven, known as the divine realm, the dwelling place of God. The first heaven is the atmospheric realm that surrounds Earth. This includes the air we breathe, the clouds and the sky that we see above us. Scientifically, this realm consists of the troposphere, which extends about 20 miles above Earth, and the stratosphere, which lies above it. The Bible refers to this heaven in Genesis 6, paragraph 7, where the term heaven is used to describe the skies and air surrounding the earth. The second heaven is also known as the celestial heaven, which refers to outer space, the realm of the sun, moon, stars, and planets. In Scripture, the stars are described as being in heaven or in the sky, indicating this vast and expansive domain beyond Earth's atmosphere. In Deuteronomy 10:14, the Bible speaks of heavenly spheres beyond what is visible from Earth, acknowledging the vastness of God's creation. The third heaven is God's dwelling place, existing beyond the first and second heavens. While the Bible does not specify its exact location, it is understood to be a spiritual realm that transcends the physical universe. Although God's presence is not confined to a single place, this highest heaven is often depicted as the seat of divine authority where God reigns, angels worship, and the righteous find eternal peace. The 3 levels of heaven represent different aspects of creation and divine order. While the first heaven governs the earth's atmosphere, the second heaven extends into the cosmos, and the third heaven remains the spiritual realm of God's presence. This structure reminds us of the vastness of the universe and the great mystery of God's heavenly kingdom. What do you think about these heavens? Do you ever consider that heaven might be beyond the stars? Let's talk about another aspect of heaven which is covered in the Book of Enoch. Now, the Book of Enoch was rejected by some Jewish communities, apparently because it was considered to be heretical and inconsistent with the Torah. When we research the neverthirsty.org website, it tells us that the Book of Enoch is one of the pseudo-pigrapha books and was apparently written during the 2nd or 1st century before Jesus Christ. It is noted that this book is usually regarded to be the Ethiopic apocalypse of Enoch. Much of the Book of Enoch is pretty grim. It uses vivid imagery to predict doom and the final judgment of evil. There's a heavy emphasis on angelology and demonology, and a large portion of the book is devoted to filling in the backstory of the story of Genesis, chapter 6, 1-4. In the ChristianFaithGuide.com, it talks about the 10 heavens in the Book of Enoch. Now, we know that the Book of Enoch is an ancient Hebrew religious text, and it describes 10 levels of heaven. These heavens are detailed in the 2nd Book of Enoch, where Enoch, being a faithful servant of God, ascends through the different realms. Enoch was allegedly Noah's great-great-grandfather, and in Genesis 5:24, it says he walked with God, meaning he was taken directly to heaven without experiencing death. Throughout his journey, Enoch encounters angels, fallen angels, giants, and divine beings, gaining insight into God's judgment, mercy, and the workings of the universe. Let's look at these heavens in a little bit more detail. According to the Book of Enoch, the first heaven is located within and above Earth's atmosphere, where the clouds, stars, and morning dew are found. This realm is also home to winged angels and 200 fallen angels, otherwise known as the Watchers, who oversee the movements of the constellations. The Book of Enoch also describes a connection between this heaven and the Great Sea, possibly referring to a vast heavenly ocean. That takes us then to the second heaven, which is described as a place of complete darkness. It's also known as the prison of darkness and despair, where the rebellious angels of Satan's army are imprisoned. These fallen angels are chained and awaiting their final judgment. The third heaven is known as the Garden of Paradise and a place of judgment. You see, the third heaven is a realm of divine paradise where the tree of life stands in a magnificent, fragrant garden. This is a place of joy and reward for the righteous. The tree of life extends deep into the Garden of Eden, and beneath it 4 rivers flow with milk, wine, honey, and oil, symbolizing abundance and divine blessing. However, this heaven also contains a terrifying place of judgment in its northern region, a realm of frozen darkness, eternal fire, and suffering. Here, sinners are punished by fierce angels using harsh weapons. The fourth heaven represents the gates of the sun and moon, and it contains 12 great gates divided between the east and west, through which the sun and moon pass. Thousands of angels dwell here, ensuring that the movements of the celestial bodies follow divine order. This realm is also home to 6 winged creatures, including the Chalkidri and phoenixes, who assist the angels. Musical angelic soldiers play instruments and sing, maintaining the harmony of the universe. That brings us to the fifth heaven, which is where the giants of regret and sorrow are. It's a solemn place of gloom and silence, inhabited by giant fallen angels called the Grigori. These beings once served God, but chose to follow Satan instead. Though their faces are withered with regret, they still sing praises to God, seeking redemption. The sixth heaven is the realm of wisdom, science, and justice. The sixth heaven is home to the 7 angelic rulers who oversees the stars, the natural order, and human affairs. These angels keep records of good and evil deeds, ensuring that justice is upheld. This realm is also inhabited by cherubim, seraphim, and phoenixes who sing divine songs beyond human comprehension. The seventh heaven is the realm of fire, light, and divine soldiers. It is a realm of pure light and divine fire inhabited by angelic warriors. These include virtues, archangels, powers, dominions, principalities, thrones, seraphim, and cherubim. This realm serves as a stronghold of heavenly armies prepared to carry out God's commands. The eighth heaven is the control of seasons and cosmic forces. It is the realm that controls Earth's seasons, rain, and drought. It is also the home of the 12 starry constellations that influence time and cosmic order. The ninth heaven is the domain of the stars and celestial movements. This is where celestial bodies move above and beyond the 12 main star constellations seen in the night sky. It is a higher realm of divine astronomy and cosmic balance, which brings us to the 10th heaven, God's throne and the highest realm. The 10th heaven is the highest of all heavens and the dwelling place of God. This is where God's throne of lightning and thunder stands, and where He judges the souls of mankind. Here countless angels surround God, singing eternal songs of praise. This heaven is also where God holds divine councils with angels and saints, making decisions about the fate of the universe. The Book of Enoch's description of the 10 heavens presents a complex spiritual world where angels, fallen beings, and celestial forces play a role in divine order, judgment, and cosmic balance. Each heaven has a unique function, from governing the movements of the stars to serving as a place of reward or punishment. Let us take now a look at the 7 levels of heaven in Islam. A lot of this is taken from the website zamzam.com. Islam defines heaven as Jannah, the paradise where good people rest after leaving their earthly body. The Holy Quran describes it as gardens of pleasure where people are rewarded after death for the good actions that they commit during their lifetimes. The Holy Quran describes it as gardens of pleasure where people are rewarded after death for the good actions that they commit during their lifetime. Hence, it is believed that if one follows the rules set by Allah, commits no sin, and stays good throughout life, they go to heaven. There are 7 levels of heaven in Islam, and each level has a different core and construction with a different prophet residing in them. The Quran calls hell Jahannam. It is a place of blazing fire and painful torments. It is described as a landscape of pits with boiling water and fire to physically torture one's spirit. Its vivid description in the Quran are a means to prevent Muslims from committing sins. Therefore, Muslims must follow every word of the Holy Book and take responsibility for their actions. What are the 7 levels of heaven then? Each of the 7 levels of heaven in Islam has a degree or grade according to which each soul is given a place. The righteousness of one's deeds decides the level of heaven where one will reside after death. Further, there are particular names of heaven in Islam depending upon their virtues. The 7 levels of heaven are as follows. The first level is Jannat al-Adan. This is the eternal place. After repenting and facing punishments for every committed sin, a Muslim is given a place in this heaven. In Surah Tabwa, Allah said that He assured His believers they would find a place in the gardens of Adan. This is where one finds the greatest acceptance from Allah and marks the biggest conquest. The rivers that flow below the gardens provide everything that one wished for. The second heaven is Jannat al-Firdaus. Firdaus refers to a garden with all kinds of plants. There are grapevines in the place, and it is the most prestigious level and is described as superior to all levels in Kutub-i-Sita. The third heaven is Jannat al-Naim. In Surah Yunus, the Almighty spoke about this level and said that people who have faith in Allah do good work. Their conviction directed them to stay good throughout their life and led them to this level. Such devotees would come across rivers flowing underneath them in the paradise of delight and become a part of this level made of iron. The fourth heaven is Jannat ul Mawa. It is a resting place made of brass for devotees and martyrs. Marwa is defined as a place where people take refuge. It has homes and dwellings. Surah Ain Najam speaks about this level and calls it the Garden of Adobe for refugees. It exists by a lote tree which stands at the periphery of heaven. The fifth level is known as Dar-ul Khuld. It is the Garden of Immortality, where one becomes eternal or immortal. Here one lasts forever. The level is promised to those who follow their path with the utmost devotion without transgressing from their path. This level of heaven compensates for the loss and hardship that one faces in the journey and brings the voyage to a halt. The sixth level of heaven is Dar-ul Maqam. It is a level of intrinsic nature. It is where the soul finds an eternal place to stay. Surah Al-Fatiha mentions this stage of heaven as a safe place where all sufferings and tiredness vanish. It is where nothing affects the soul. The seventh level is Dar-us-Salam. It is the abode of well-being. This is the seventh level of heaven, which is the home of safety and peace. In Surah Al-Yunus, the Almighty calls back people whom He had willed to walk the straight path. Surah Al-An'am, Allah calls it a place where He would protect them. Many scholars believe that there is the eighth level of heaven called Ilion. It is a home for the perfect mu'mins, otherwise known as devotees or believers. It is an abode of the Hafaza angels who protect the souls. This is where people get the fruit of their righteous deeds. A few scholars even believe that there are 100 levels of heaven in Islam. Each level refers to a different grade. Another interpretation of 100 levels refers to the plurality of Jannah, where believers fall according to their good deeds and sins. It is believed that the distance between the two levels increases with flight. There you have it. As you can see, there are various different ideas and concepts about what heaven is and isn't. There are also many more religions and beliefs that we haven't covered here today. If you want to explore what other religions or beliefs are around angels and heaven, then do some research and see what you come up with. At the end of the day, it is like many things. It comes down to what your own beliefs are and what resonates with you. Throughout history, across different cultures and faiths, the idea of multiple heavens has provided a profound sense of hope, purpose, and justice. Whether described as layers of paradise, celestial realms, or divine abodes, these beliefs reflect a deep-rooted human longing for something beyond our earthly existence, a place of ultimate peace, reward, and spiritual fulfillment. Heaven represents the promise that goodness, faith, and righteousness are not in vain, but lead to an eternal dwelling of joy and serenity. It reassures us that suffering is temporary, that love and virtue endure, and that there is a divine order beyond what we can see. In believing in heaven, we find comfort in life's trials, inspiration to live meaningfully, and the hope of reunion with the divine and our loved ones. Whether literal or symbolic, the concept of heaven continues to shape our hearts, guiding us towards a higher purpose and a vision of eternal peace and belonging. I hope that somewhere in today's episode you have found something that gives you meaning. In the meantime, if you found this episode valuable, please share information about the show with 3 people who you believe would find it beneficial. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a 5-star review on the platform where you're listening. You yourself might find yourself at a crossroad in your life, and if you are looking for guidance and inspiration, I'd love to help you find your path with a spiritual angel reading. Contact me on info@dagmarbryant.com for more information and to make a booking. Until the next episode, blessings, and may your life be filled with hope and inspiration.